Hello, I'm Melissa Sasso, and this is
Those colors.
this is Bennett Sasso, and this is
Emma.
And we are so excited to be here with you this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about Adam and Eve and the temptation that they felt in the Garden of Eden. We'll talk about words like temptation and guilt, and also God's love for us, and how if we are honest and tell God that we messed up, how he loves us and will forgive us. Before we start, I just wanted to show you something that I just happen to have here. It's a delicious plate filled with candy and chocolate and Pez and Airheads, and I'm just going to hold this right here. And we're going to review just a little bit. The past couple weeks, we've learned about the story of creation and how God created the world in 7 days, technically 6, because on the 6th day, he created all the animals in the world. But then on the 7th day, he took a rest and he got to take a nap. And 2 of the people that he created were Adam and Eve. And last week, Miss Christine and Nora taught us that Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden. And there was a beautiful fruit tree filled with apples. And there was a snake, a sinister snake, who tried to get Adam and Eve to make some bad decisions and to do something they shouldn't, and how they gave in to the temptation. And even though God got mad at them, he did love them very much and forgave them. And so I was hoping, Emma, you could try to use, maybe in kid terms, try to explain what the word temptation means.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure most of you watching this want to eat that candy.
Definitely.
I actually do too. And to be honest, I think Bennett does too. So, the feeling that you have when you're trying to eat this, when you want to, but you aren't, it's called temptation.
Right, so there's something that you want to do, a behavior that you want to do that you know you probably shouldn't, but, or maybe not even shouldn't, just a behavior that you want to do. That's something that's tempting. So a beautiful cold swimming pool on a really hot day is tempting. That's a temptation to go swimming, right? And drinking a warm cup of hot cocoa on a freezing cold day, that would also be another type of temptation, but those are fine temptations. But then there are the temptations where we shouldn't probably do things like talking when our teacher's talking in school, or not listening to the grown-ups that we live with. Those are kind of temptations that we shouldn't give into, right?
How can you explain that so good?
So, I don't know, because I have you and Bennett that I'm trying to explain and teach things to all the time. So there's another feeling that when you give in to temptation, there's a feeling that's in the pit of your stomach that's kind of an icky feeling. And what's that called?
Guilt or regret, if you want to put it in child forms.
That's true. That's right. And so that's the feeling that you feel when you do something you know you shouldn't, but you did it anyway, and then you feel guilt or regret for that behavior. So just to review what Miss Christine and Nora taught us last week, I wanted to read to you from the same story, but it's just a different source. This is called the Beginner's Bible, and I wanted to read to you the story of Adam and Eve. So I'm going to move the delicious candy and try to hold it up to the camera so everybody at home can see the pictures. The sneaky snake. Many trees grew in the Garden of Eden. God told Adam and Eve, "You may eat the fruit from any tree except for one. Never eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." Now, there was a sneaky snake, this guy, in the garden. One day the snake saw Eve near the special tree. It hissed, "Did God really tell you not to eat the fruit from this tree?" The snake wanted Eve to disobey God. It said, "You should try some of this tasty fruit. If you eat it, you will be like God. You will be able to tell the difference between good and evil." The fruit looked so tasty. Eve remembered what God had said, but she ate the fruit anyway. Then Eve gave some to Adam. He took a bite too. As the sun was going down, Adam and Eve heard God walking through the garden. He was looking for them. Adam and Eve hid among the trees. They were afraid. "What have you done?" God asked. "Did you eat the fruit from the forbidden tree?" Adam said, "Yes, but Eve gave it to me." And Eve said, "Yes, but the snake tricked me." God told the snake, "Because of what you did, you will always crawl on your belly." There's the snake crawling on his belly. Then he told Adam and Eve, "Because you disobeyed me, you can no longer live in the garden." And we're going to just stop there. But Emma, reading that story kind of reminds me of maybe families with a couple kids or kids at school where the grown-up says, "What did you do?" And then one of the kids says, "Well, she made me do it." And then the other child says, "But he made me do it." And then the grown-up gets annoyed or upset. But then usually the grown-up says, "You made a mistake and you were honest and it's okay, you're forgiven." Can you think of any instances in your life, either at home or at school, when that happened to you?
No, I can't, but I'm pretty sure almost everyone in this whole world has had something like that.
Well, I can think of it. So just the other night at dinner, I think you snuck a piece of Bennett's dessert, didn't you? And so Bennett's dessert looks super tempting, and you gave him the temptation to just sneak a piece.
I actually don't remember that.
Okay. So here's the other secret. Well, the first secret is that it happens in every family and also in schools and in every classroom. The other secret is that it happens to grown-ups too.
That's real news.
Even grown-ups and adults can make mistakes and can give in to temptation and can mess up and can do things that they really shouldn't.
Can you name one tempting thing to you?
One tempting thing to me? Oh man, there's literally tons and tons of times when I've messed up and made mistakes. And so the amazing thing about God is that if we're honest with God, and
He always forgives us.
Well, if we're honest with God and if we tell him that we messed up and if we ask for forgiveness, he loves us so much that he will forgive us. And sometimes different kind of learners a different type of learning type is called visual learning, and that's how I learn. So I wanted to show you as a visual reminder God's love for us. And so this jar is the whole world, and inside the whole world are lots and lots of tempting things. And so this paper says tempting things. And tempting things could be plates of candy. It could be
staying up past your bedtime.
It could be maybe, talking over a teacher at school, or maybe not paying attention, or standing up on the bus.
Or stealing something without asking.
All of those are tempting things. And so this balloon represents you and me and Emma and all of the kids at St. Peter's and all of the grown-ups at St. Peter's and everybody in this balloon says you and me. And we're going to put all the tempting things in the world. And sometimes you and I don't get sucked into temptation. We can resist temptation. Another word of not falling for something or not doing something is resisting. So sometimes we can resist temptation, but sometimes we can't. And so I need to tell you, though, that this experiment involves fire, so please don't do this at home unless you're with a grown-up and a grown-up supervising you. So look, we're going to...
Light that on fire?
We are. We're going to put temptation out into the world because the world is full of temptation.
It looks like the way paper just literally burns.
And then we're going
Sometimes
to
paper
put
burns
us...
in movies.
Oh, and there it goes. We got sucked into temptation. And guess what? And guess what? We're stuck. Like, we're actually stuck.
Stuck in temptation.
Yeah, try to pull the balloon out. You can't. Because it's stuck.
No, it's not.
Well, pretend it was stuck.
Wait, is that full of water?
No. Yes, it is.
What?
And so here comes God to the rescue. And if we are honest with God, and if we tell him that we made a mistake and we ask for forgiveness, God, normally, if Emma didn't already pull us out of temptation, God would be able to pull us out of temptation and wiggle through so that we could be released from temptation. That. All right, so let's end with a prayer. Want to bow your head? Dear God.
Dear God.
Sometimes I will mess up and make mistakes.
Sometimes I will mess up and make mistakes.
but my heart feels comforted, knowing if I am honest, you will forgive me. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Hey everybody, glad to see you back at Sunday School. I'm Erik.
And this is Elsa, that's me.
All right, we're going to sing another song this morning. This one is called Jesus, I Return to You, and that is most of the words. Here we go. Jesus, I return to you. Jesus, I return to you. I walked away from you when I did what I should not do, when I did not follow through. Now I return to you. Jesus, I return to you. Jesus, I return to you. I walked away from you when I did what I should not do, when I did not follow through. Now I return to you. Jesus, I return to you. Jesus, I return to you. Nice singing, Elsa. Nice singing, everybody. Now we're going to say the Lord's Prayer together. So everybody do what you do when you pray. Here we go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. All right, thanks for coming to Sunday School, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, 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 bye.